Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are continuing Nectarean version of Holy Name, and we are in the chapter Tips to a Pure Chanting. Attentive chanting. Try to withdraw your mind from the sense objects and concentrate exclusively on the sound of the mantra. Meditate on the meaning of the mantra and do not allow other thoughts and external influences to distract you. Through devoted concentration on the syllables of holy name, you will realize step by step the form, the qualities, and the pastimes of Lord. Please read more on attentive chanting on page 132. Clearly pronouncing the holy name. Another advice from Srila Prabhupada is to clearly pronounce the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Chanting involves activities of the upper and lower lips as well as the tongue. All three must be engaged in chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The words Hare Krishna should be very distinctly pronounced and heard. Sometimes one mechanically produces a hissing sound instead of chanting with the proper pronunciation. With the help of the lips and tongue, chanting is very simple, but one must practice it seriously. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela 1732. How fast should we chant? According to Srila Prabhupada, the round should be chanted swiftly so that constant flow of the holy name can flood the consciousness and stop the mental process of incessant accepting and rejecting. Swiftly means neither too slow and then mind drifts away, not too fast because then the pronunciation becomes indistinct if one chants properly. It needs around 7 minutes for one round. This may vary more or less between individuals by 1 minute. Neophytes especially often tend to chant as fast as possible, but in the beginning it is better to chant slowly and distinctly instead of fast and unclearly. By constant practice, chanting will be swifter by itself. On the other hand, it is a sign of missing concentration and experience if one needs more than 8 minutes. The slower chanter, however, should not consider the fast chanting of the experienced devotees as mechanical, emotionless recitation. They know the art. Basically, chanting is very simple, but it must be seriously practiced. Also, we should not forget that to chant distinctly is an essential service to the Krishna, not something that steals our time we need for other services. As long as the body is healthy, one should chant the holy name of the Lord loudly and distinctly. Then, at the time of death, it is most likely that one would chant the holy name properly with love and faith and go back home, back to the spiritual world. Proper pronunciation. One should also try to overcome one's poor pronunciation that is due to cultural reasons. In some language, the letter R does not exist. Therefore, instead of Hare Rama, one chants Hare Lama. Some devotees tend to pronounce the R indistinctly. On the other hand, some like to chant Krishna. Producing the R deep in the throat, both should be avoided. When Srila Prabhupada came with his first Western disciple to India, he was criticized by some Brahmanas. Swamiji said, your disciple cannot even pronounce the Mahamantra properly. Prabhupada replied, yes, therefore I have brought them to India, that they learn it from you. Sanskrit pronunciation is exactly different. Unlike the English language, there are various certain letters can be pronounced in different ways, like A in have and hard. The different letters of the Sanskrit alphabet are always pronounced in the same way. The consonants, for example, are divided in 5 groups according to where the sound is produced in the mouth. There are sounds, one uttered in the throat, at the rear of the palate, at the top of the palate, at the teeth, with the lips. The different consonants are thus arranged in a systematic order as illustrated on the next page. One who understands this system can easily learn the proper Sanskrit pronunciation. we can see that all consonants of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which are produced by the tongue, namely Hare Krishna Rama, belong to the middle group. The tongue is slightly bent backwards and vibrates at the topmost part of the palate. The letter R in Krishna, although a vowel, is uttered in the same way more clearly. The tongue produces the sound R, but it is pronounced like Re. I think I can stop here. So here in this chapter, we are continuing reading about the tips to a pure chanting. Yesterday we read about technique of chanting, how do we chant, counting the japa, and also bodily posture and place and time. Today we read about attentive chanting. So we have to try to withdraw mind from the sense object and concentrate exclusively on the sounds of the mantra. And we have to clearly pronounce the holy name. We should not chant too slow where mind drifts away, or too fast, then the pronunciation become indistinct. So you have to follow, we have to find our flow and speed, and need to continue so that we can pronounce clearly, as well as go with the flow without having mind focus on something else. As long as the body is healthy, one should chant the holy name, loud and distinctly, and we have to also pronounce properly. So even though language or culture effect may be there on the pronunciation, but we should try to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.